Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to my world of stocks and welcome back to our budget community portfolio series for the month of December 2024. Now, this is not my larger private portfolio. This is the public community one where I only deposit $100 each month into this brand new portfolio that I created from scratch. And then I use that money to invest in stocks, some of which is also influenced by you guys through various polls or even comments and messages that you send me. And then we do these monthly update videos broken up into 3 parts, covering how the portfolio is doing so far and all the trades from last month in November. Then we cover how each individual stock is performing either up or down and what I plan to buy this current month in December. And then at the end, I finish up with just a few comments from you guys and I give you really quick responses to them. A little bit of housekeeping before we start though. If you decide to support me on Patreon through the link in the description, you'll get access to our private community Discord, where I also post a new stock purchase for this portfolio every single day. So if you're a member, it'll send you a notification each day of what stocks I'm buying. Also, we use SoFi for this account, which I love to use and I highly recommend them. Even for setting up a Roth IRA too, it's perfect for all of that and it's completely free, which if you use my referral link down below, you even get a bonus $25 worth of stock absolutely free too, just for signing up, which is awesome. So give them a try if you're not already using them. But with all of that said, thank you for your support, my friends. Let's go ahead and jump into this video, starting with part 1. Let's take a look at how the community portfolio is holding up so far and what moves we made in November. All right, now the total balance has risen now to about $1,700. It might change a little throughout this video because of the market being open when I took these screenshots. But after having the account open for about a full year now, we are currently up 22% overall. That's more than $300, which when we exclude the cash portion, our actual stock investments are up even more at 27% gains. And guys, that's actually really good for just being the first year. You know, most people lose money their first year, but we actually matched the S&P 500 on performance despite the index soaring recently. So I couldn't be happier with our performance. And really, it could have been even better if we had this portfolio for a longer time, because it would be larger and you'd have dividends coming in and all of that would snowball into bigger gains. But that'll come slowly over time in the future. As for which stocks I purchased last month though, in November, I did run a few polls to get some influence from you guys, including this one on YouTube, where I asked which of our 4 largest holdings should we buy more of, to which 38% of the votes went to SoFi. Kind of surprised by that one, beating out some amazing options like Google, Amazon, and Microsoft. By the way, YouTube only lets me use 4 options now for polls, which sucks. I don't know why they don't allow much more than that. It should really go up to like 10 at least, but only 4 is so limited, but that's just what we're stuck with on YouTube. Anyway, I did run another poll on YouTube asking which of our 4 best performing stocks should we buy more of, to which 32% of the votes went again to SoFi. Very surprising here, even beating out Palantir and Tesla, 2 of the most popular stocks in the market. But it looks like SoFi is starting to get a little more attention these days, which I am happy to see. All right, from there though, I did run a poll on our Patreon page asking which dividend payer should we buy more of, to which Vici Properties took the win at 27% of the votes with over a 5% dividend yield. I'm actually a huge fan of Vici stock right now at the current valuation, but we'll talk a little more about that in just a second. Finally though, I asked on our Discord which of our 10 smallest positions should we buy more of, and it was a close race here, but surprisingly VeriSign actually took the win here at 17% of the votes, even ahead of some other popular stocks like PayPal and NextEra Energy. In total though, I spent $70 this month, which was a little less than I typically spend, mostly because I just had a really busy time with the holidays coming up. We had a wedding, there was a lot of family events, so I just kind of got a little off track there. But the biggest purchase of the month went to Vici at $20 spent there, while $10 went to each of Google, Microsoft, and SoFi, with another $5 going to each of Medtronic, Pfizer, VeriSign, and Verizon. All right, let's take a look now though at what our best and worst performers are and which stocks I plan to buy here in December as well. Okay, so here's all the holdings on SoFi. If you want to take a closer look at these, you can always go to Discord where I post all the screenshots, but I just turned this giant page here into some custom charts so it's easier for you to see the information. And so far we have 7 stocks making up more than half of the entire portfolio, those being in order: Google, SoFi, because it skyrocketed this past month, Amazon, then Palantir, another one that soared recently, then Microsoft, Verizon, and Medtronic. Now, personally, I'm not a big fan of SoFi being ahead of Amazon or Palantir being ahead of Microsoft. I would be fine with those still being relatively high, but maybe just not that high. I would rather have some safer, larger companies be at the very tip top. So I could actually trim a little bit of SoFi and Palantir right here just to help balance it out a little bit. They're up a lot. We could take some profits on that. But because this portfolio is so small and brand new, really, to begin with, I actually don't want to do a lot of selling at the moment. I'd rather just build up larger the portfolio by buying more of Amazon and Microsoft stock to kind of help balance it out that way instead. Now, once we've had this portfolio for a couple years and it's getting bigger, then of course I would be much more comfortable doing small trims here and there, cashing in profits, and ideally with lower taxes being charged on those profits too. But yeah, for now I'll just do more buying in other areas to balance it out that way instead. From there though, I like how everything else is structured so far, except for Vici. It's one of our newest additions, so it's still pretty small at only 2%, but that's a dividend REIT that I think is dirt cheap right now, so I definitely want to buy a lot more in the coming months, as well as even some Extra Space Storage, which is the only other REIT that we have right now. I think these are some, I would just say this, in the market right now, I think there's some pretty attractive REITs out there, especially when you look at the dividends, when you look at their current valuations, and with interest rates coming down, I think those are going to get more attractive. So I'll be looking at those, maybe even trying to perhaps add another brand new one, after I do some digging around and find a REIT that I like as much as these other ones. But yeah, that's definitely something that I'll be considering in the coming month too. In terms of how much each stock is either up or down though, as you can see, most of the portfolio is doing very well. It's deep in the green. And we'll start first with the double digit gainers, where the top 4 are Palantir at 161% gains, SoFi at 107% gains, Tesla 96% gains, and C3.ai at 56% gains. And guys, I can't tell you how happy I am to see that, because those 4 stocks right there, I mean, I've gotten so much, let's just say, SHIT for buying those types of stocks. So many people, sometimes, I don't know, calling me dumb or saying that these are too risky, speculative type of stocks for me to be, touching. But to have these actually be the 4 best performing ones in the portfolio, some of them even doubling in size in terms of gains, it's just awesome to see. It makes me feel good. So I'm very happy about that. I hope you guys are too. Anyway, after that, Nvidia, PayPal, and Meta are all up over 30% each, with several others in the 20% range and a few more in the teens. Our 4 largest stocks though, Google, SoFi, Amazon, and Palantir, are all up on this list, double-digit gainers, which I love to see. And even Supermicro made the list. We were actually down it was like over 20% last month, but they had a huge rebound this past month, and we're actually profitable on it now too by double digits. Awesome to see that. In the single digits though, we have a few more notable names like Verizon, which I wouldn't mind adding some more of just for that, fat dividend that they pay. But for sure, the 2 that I want to focus on, I would say heavier, would be Medtronic and Microsoft, since those are 2 of my absolute favorite companies in the world, like business-wise, and we're only up 7% and 5% on each respectively, so some buying here makes total sense. But nothing really would compare to Vici Properties, my favorite REIT in the market right now, with a huge dividend, great valuation, and yeah, we're actually negative on it, so basically want to be buying as much as possible of this one while I am still down on it. Now, Pfizer and Baidu, I am open to those as well, but those are just a bit more volatile these days. Pfizer coming off the pandemic, Baidu being a Chinese stock. Both of those, I think investors are perhaps a little worried about going into a Trump administration. Of course, there's a lot of tension with China and Trump, suggesting higher tariffs. So it's something to be cautious of, I would say, but I just think those are 2 of the biggest leaders in biotech and in artificial intelligence, so I still want to own those 2 long term. but that's just my opinion. With that said, though, I added another fresh $100 for the month of December, leaving us above $1,800 now, and with a cash ratio above 20%, which I think is reasonable enough. All right, it's time now though to finish up the video with just a few quick comments from you guys, and I'll give you my responses to them. As always, you can leave comments here too, down below, or especially on Patreon or Discord, especially Discord, and I may respond to them in next month's video too. All right, so first up here, we've got a Discord comment. This one is from Bushan, who says, "Hi, Aule. Could you please explain to us which are the basic things that we need to consider while investing in specific stocks, e.g. balance sheet, ratios, annual profits, etc.?" So yeah, so every year I actually try to put out some beginner-friendly educational videos around the start of the year, so I'll definitely make that content for you. It'd be way too much information to talk about here, all those things in this quick video, but I will make several educational videos on when to buy stocks, when to sell, what to look for, how to analyze, what websites I use. All that type of stuff is coming soon, so be on the lookout for that. Lots of good educational content I think will be coming. But yeah, thank you for your comments, my friend, and I appreciate that. Next up here, we have a YouTube comment from Light Screen, who said, "These bots in the comments," and they put a little symbol there, emoji of like a dead symbol. But yeah, trust me, I know all about these robots here in the comment sections. I try to block so many of them, and every time I block one, another 5 new ones pop up. It's insanely annoying. I can't believe people fall for them. They're so clearly scams, promoting certain people or sometimes like random cryptocurrencies that nobody's ever heard of. And these scumbags even use religion and God sometimes to market themselves too. They'll mention Jesus and other things like that. So I have no respect for these scam artists, these scumbags, really, that's what I like to call them, trying to scam people. And I do hope that YouTube starts helping me out in blocking them, because I report them all the time, but they just keep coming. So I'm sorry, if you guys have to see those, please make sure that you never click on anything that looks suspicious. Don't ever message anyone with any of your personal information. These are 100% scams, and I will never have anything to do with them myself. So don't trust anyone pretending to be me either. Make sure that, I don't go around in the comment section asking you guys for information, okay? That's not what I do. So don't ever believe those kind of comments and those scammers. All right, next up here, we have another YouTube comment from Mega JMO, who says, "Love the videos, Aule. What are your thoughts on nuclear stocks like Dominion Energy?" Well, thank you very much for that comment, my friend. I appreciate that. And it's funny that you mention it, because I'm actually planning on doing a dedicated nuclear energy stocks video very soon, probably within the next month. I think this is going to be a very important area for the future of AI and cloud, the data center. These new technologies are skyrocketing in popularity and in demand, and they need a ton of energy to fuel them. So I'm actively doing research right now, looking for the best nuclear related stocks that I would like maybe for 2025 beyond the long term. And as far as Dominion goes, I will just kind of give you some thoughts on it. I do actually really like them. I don't own it myself. I'm still doing more research on them and others too. But, just off the bat, I would say that the stock has risen a bit this year already, but the valuation is actually very good. It's about the same as the sector, and yet they have a very attractive dividend, and they're a key utility in Virginia, their biggest market, which also happens to be one of the biggest data center locations in the world. So there's a lot to like about them. And like I said, I'm actively doing more research on them and others too. And I hope to give you some more information on that very soon. But thanks for the comment. All right, we got another YouTube comment here. This one from Dragon. This one's actually a little bit of a negative one here, but they said, once you recommend SMCI, that's Supermicro, by the way. This person says, "I stop watching," and he put like a laughing emoji. Like, I don't know. I guess he's mocking me or laughing at me. But I agree. Your comment is actually pretty funny, because first of all, I never recommended this stock, so that's kind of a lie that you just said there. But I've even said a couple times, numerous times I've said that this is the type of stock that most people should actually stay away from. It's a bit too risky for most people, but I was specifically buying just a very tiny amount myself as a speculative gamble on the hopes that they would have a rebound in the future, which in this community portfolio, it was only around $25 that I spent on this stock. So to just kind of dismiss me as a YouTuber, to not, not refuse to watch my videos just because I spent $25 on a little speculative play here is kind of, I guess, funny. I don't know. But anyway, the stock actually did rebound, funny enough, which I'm not saying that to gloat or to brag, because it can always go right back down. So I never like to brag. I never brag. Sometimes I talk about stocks and they skyrocket and I never mention it. I don't brag about that. They can always come right back down. It'd be silly for me to brag about it. But, if you're going to make a comment like that, then I will list some facts about it. And by the way, another person replied to this person. This one was called Lopche, saying, I was shocked too. And I don't know what you're shocked about. I guess I'm not allowed to ever, try a tiny speculative play on my own channel with my own money. But, next time I'll be sure to ask these guys for permission on how to spend my own money. But by the way, I do want to say thank you to Trevor, because Trevor responded to both of them saying, it's people like you that's going to make people like me tons of money when that stock bounces. And guess what? Trevor was right, by the way, because from the lows, the stock more than doubled recently this past month. So if those other guys were truly so negative on it, laughing and being kind of mocking, and if they actually put their money where their mouth is, like I did, if I talked about the stock, I actually bought it. Okay, then maybe did they short the stock? If they're so negative on it, did they actually short the stock? If they did, well, they lost all their money, and Trevor made a ton of it. So, good on you, Trevor, for congratulations on those profits. I hope you did well on that with your own money, by the way. It's your money. Do whatever you want with it. Anyway, last one here. Sorry, guys. I don't mean to go into negative mode. It's just... Anyway, I was just responding to the comment. And by the way, most of you guys are amazing commenters, and I love all of you, and I love all your comments. So I don't mean to focus on anything negative there. But last one here, we'll finish up with a positive, actually a very positive comment here. This is a very cool comment. This was on Discord from Jason, who said, "Holy cow, have you seen the rise in C3.ai? What happened to it? Any thoughts after the surge? Great call, by the way." Well, thank you, Jason. I appreciate that. And yeah, C3 was actually another stock that you could go back and check my videos. I would get some negative backlash on that one, but I just felt like they were kind of a mini version of Palantir for obviously a much smaller price. They were actually down a huge amount from the top. Like the stock had crashed before, I was buying into it. But now with the soaring rise of AI, well, recently the stock rebounded quite a bit. And, I kind of figured that because it had crashed by so much already, I figured that if there was going to be any positive news coming out on them, the stock would likely rebound. So that was another kind of speculative play. I was just, I was playing on the rebound. I felt like they could rebound. And I actually really like this one long term, though, too. But what happened this past month, they got a partnership deal with Microsoft, which along with other positive news, a strong earnings report, too, it just sent the stock soaring by over 40% this past month. And I would say, I still love the stock long term. So even though it's currently our fourth best performer right now, I'm actually not planning on selling any of it. But if they do dip at all, I might actually buy a little more. All right, my friends, that'll do it for this month's update. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for your support. It means a lot to me. I love you all. I hope you're all doing well. And make sure you leave any feedback you'd like down in the comment section. But I will catch you in the next one. All right, hope you're all doing well. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.